Smart people ask more questions than they answer, not because they're unsure, because they've discovered something the rest of us haven't. Certainty is a trap. Here's the thing, nobody tells you about intelligence. It's not about what you know, it's about seven small, invisible habits that quietly rewire how your brain processes the world. Once you see them, you can't unsee them in yourself. Number one, intelligent people change their minds in public. Most of us treat opinions like identity. Admitting we're wrong feels like admitting we're broken. Psychologist Philip Tetlock studied thousands of expert predictions over 20 years and found something strange. The best forecasters weren't the most confident, they were the ones who updated quickly when new evidence appeared. Your brain is a prediction machine. It hates being wrong because being wrong once meant danger. Smart people train themselves to feel curiosity instead of threat when they're proven wrong. That's not weakness, that's a superpower. Number two, they get bored on purpose. You know that urge to check your phone the second you're waiting in line? Intelligent people resist it, not because they're disciplined, but because they understand the brain's default mode network, the system that becomes active when you're doing nothing. That's when your brain quietly connects unrelated ideas in the background. Einstein called it combinatory play. Modern neuroscience calls it insight formation. Every time you fill silence with a screen, you switch off the very system responsible for many of your best ideas. Number three, they ask, what am I missing? Instead of, am I right? It sounds small, but it isn't. It's the difference between defending a position and finding the truth. Behavioral scientists call this an incentive structure problem. Most people are rewarded for looking right. Intelligent people reward themselves for being corrected because correction makes their understanding of reality more accurate. That small shift changes everything. Number four, they sleep on big decisions. There's a reason people say sleep on it. Studies on memory consolidation show that your brain replays and reorganizes information during sleep, especially REM sleep. Emotional intensity fades. Logical thinking becomes stronger. A decision that feels urgent at 11 p.m. often looks completely different at 7 a.m. Intelligent people don't trust the version of themselves that's tired, hungry, or emotionally overwhelmed. They wait for the version that's rested. Number five, they talk to themselves like a coach, not a critic. Psychologist Ethan Kross studies something called self-distancing. When you speak to yourself using your own name instead of I, your brain processes the advice more objectively. There's less emotional overload and clearer decision making. It sounds strange until you try it during a stressful moment. Number six, they protect unstructured time like it's money. Here's the paradox. The busiest looking people are often the least reflective. The sharpest thinkers deliberately create empty space. Walking without a podcast, driving in silence, showering without a phone. This isn't laziness. It's when the brain's slower, more thoughtful thinking system gets a chance to work. And now, the one that surprises people the most. Number seven, intelligent people seek out disagreement from people they respect, not internet arguments. Real disagreement from people whose judgment they trust. Psychologists call this the devil's advocate effect. Research on group decision making shows that teams including a dissenting voice make better decisions even when that person is wrong. The presence of disagreement forces deeper thinking. Your brain stops running on assumptions and starts checking its work. The smartest people, you know, probably aren't surrounded by people who agree with them. They're surrounded by people who challenge them, and they've learned to feel safe instead of threatened. Here's the real definition of intelligence. Intelligence isn't how fast you think. It's how willing you are to think again. It's not about being right the first time. It's about being flexible enough to be right eventually. Intelligence was never just about IQ. It has always been a set of habits, and that means it's not fixed. Starting today, it's something you can build.